Destination B1. Word patterns. Accuse somebody of. They accused me of stealing some money. Addicted to. I'm glad I'm not addicted to drugs. Admire somebody for. I really admire you for everything you've achieved. An advantage of. One advantage of MP3 players is that they are very small. An advertisement for. Have you seen that really funny advertisement for coffee? Advise against. I would advise against studying all night. Afraid of. I'm afraid of the dark. Agree with somebody about. I don't agree with you about that. Allergic to. My mum is allergic to gold, so she can't wear any gold jewelry. Amazed at, by. We were all amazed at, by the tricks the magician did. Angry with somebody about. Are you angry with me about something? Apologize to somebody for. Simon apologized to me for losing my pen. Apply for. Yota has applied for a job at the new hotel. Approve of. I don't approve of kids lying to their parents. Argue with somebody about. I don't want to argue with you about something so unimportant. An argument with somebody about. I had an argument with my dad about how much pocket money I get. Arrive at. Let's have dinner as soon as we arrive at the hotel. Arrive in. I hope it's not raining when we arrive in Manchester. Ashamed of. Aren't you ashamed of what you did? Ask somebody about. Why don't you ask your dad about the party? Ask for. Ed asked for a pencil, so I lent him one. Aware of. I'm not aware of any flights being cancelled. Begin something with. Let's begin the lesson with a revision test. Believe in. Do you believe in UFOs? Belong to. Do these belong to you? Blame something on. I blame the accident on Jake. Blame somebody for. You can't blame Susie for what happened. A book by somebody about. I read a great book by an English writer about traveling around Europe. Bored with. I'm bored with watching this film. Borrow something from. You can borrow some money from me, if you like. Buy something from. Where did you buy your new shoes from? Capable of. Are you capable of holding your breath underwater for 2 minutes? Care about. Everyone should care about protecting the environment. Careful with. Please be careful with that vase, it was my grandmother's. Change something, from something, into. In the story, the witch changes the prince from a man into a frog. Chat to somebody about. I'll have a chat to Mrs. Peters about your marks. Cheat at or in. You should never cheat at cards. You didn't cheat in the exam, did you? Choose between. I love both my brother and my sister, and I can't choose between them. Close to. The town hall is quite close to my house. Combine something with. If you combine oxygen with hydrogen, you get water. Comment on. The politician refused to comment on the situation. Communicate with. I communicate with my cousins in Australia by email. Compare something to or with. I'd like you to compare your composition to or with your partner's composition. Complain to somebody about. I'm going to complain to the manager about this. Confuse something with. I think you've confused me with someone else. Congratulate somebody on. The coach congratulated us on winning the final. Connect something to or with. Can you connect this wire to or with this one? Continue with. Continue with your work, and I'll be back in a moment. Cope with. I can't cope with all this homework. Covered in or with. My shoes are covered in or with mud. Crazy about. Marshall is crazy about video games. Criticize somebody for. Don't criticize me for asking questions in class. A cure for. Will they ever find a cure for this disease? Damage to. Did the storm do a lot of damage to your house? Deal with. I'll deal with that problem tomorrow. Decide on. Have you decided on the music for your party? Depend on. Going to see your cousins this weekend depends on the weather. Describe something as. Would you describe him as tall? The police officer asked. Die from, of. You won't die from, of a cold. A difference between. What's the difference between a crocodile and an alligator? Different from, to. This song is very different from, to their last one. Difficult for. It must be difficult for Peter, having so many sisters. Disappointed with. I like that actor, but I was disappointed with his last film. Disconnect something from. I'll disconnect the TV from the wall before I go to bed. Embarrassed about. I'm a bit embarrassed about what I did at the party last night. Enthusiastic about. John is really enthusiastic about the karaoke competition. Escape from. How did they escape from prison? Explain something to. Let me explain the rules of the game to you. Familiar with. We might need a map, because I'm not very familiar with the area. Famous for. This area is famous for cheese and pasta. A fan of. If you're a fan of Tony DeVito, you'll love his latest album. Far from. Is the cinema far from here? Fed up with. I'm fed up with working here. Feel like. What do you feel like doing this weekend? Fight against. The two countries once fought against each other in a war. Fill something with. She filled the trolley with food. Fond of. I'm really fond of my dog. Forget about. I'd completely forgotten about the party. Forgive somebody for. I'll never forgive you for what you've done. Frightened of. Are you frightened of flying? Full of. The cupboard is full of food. A game against. In a game against a local school, I scored 4 goals. Glance at. I glanced at Claire, and I could see that she was upset. Good at. What sports are you good at? Guilty of. He was found guilty of murder. Happen to. What happened to your car? Happy about, with. David seemed to be happy about, with his exam results anyway. Help somebody with. Can I help you with that? Hide something from somebody. You can't hide anything from me. An idea about. I've got no idea about computers. An increase in. There's been an increase in traffic in the town centre recently. An influence on. My uncle has had a strong influence on me. Inform somebody about. Please inform a member of staff about any problems you may have. Information about. I'd like some information about the local area, please. Insist on. My dad insists on my being home by 10 o'clock. Interested in. I'm quite interested in history. Invite somebody to. I'm going to invite everyone to my party. Involved in. When did he first become involved in crime? Jealous of. I'm jealous of Katie, because she always has such nice clothes. A joke about. Trisha told us a joke about 2 penguins. Keen on. I'm not very keen on spicy food. Kind to. You've been very kind to me. Thank you. A kind of. Haddock is a kind of fish. Know about. Do you know anything about astronomy? Late for. Hurry up, or we'll be late for school. Laugh at. Your problems will seem less serious if you can laugh at them. Learn about. We're learning about dinosaurs at school at the moment. Lend something to. I haven't got any money, because I lent €100 to Richard. A letter from somebody about. I got a letter from Miranda about her new job. Listen to. In my free time, I like to listen to music. Look at. What are those people looking at? Married to. My brother is married to a woman called Margot. Nervous about. I'm really nervous about appearing in the school play. A number of. I've got a number of books about horses. An opinion about, of. What's your opinion about, of classical music? Take part in. Have you ever taken part in a talent contest? Pay for. We paid for dinner by credit card and left a tip. A picture of. This is a picture of a family on holiday in Africa. Pleased with. Are you pleased with your exam results? Popular with. This band is very popular with teenagers. Prepare for. How do you prepare for a big match? Prevent somebody from. The wall is designed to prevent the animals from leaving. Proud of. I'm sure your parents are very proud of you. Provide somebody with. The college provides all the students with books. Punish somebody for. You shouldn't punish someone for telling the truth. A question about. Can I ask you a question about the maths test? Ready for. Are you ready for your exam tomorrow? A reason for. What was the reason for her anger? Receive something from. At the end of the course, you'll all receive a certificate from the college. A recipe for. My mum has got a great recipe for chocolate cake. Recover from. I hope you've recovered from your injury. Refer to. I realized Doug was in charge when one of the others referred to him as the boss. A relationship with. Do you have a good relationship with your parents? Rely on. You can always rely on Andrew. Remind somebody of. Who does this picture remind you of? Remove something from. You have to remove this piece of card from the game. Reply to. Don't forget to reply to Kelly's letter, will you? Responsible for. Who's responsible for cleaning the classroom? Result in. Falling out of the tree resulted in me going to hospital. Save something from. We've got to save lots of animals from becoming extinct. Scared of. Hold my hand, there's nothing to be scared of. Send something to somebody. I'm going to send some photographs to Irene. Serious about. If you're serious about being a doctor, I'll give you some advice. Share something with. I'll share this bar of chocolate with you. Short of. I'm very short of money. Similar to. Horse meat tastes a little similar to beef, or lamb. Smell of. These sweets smell of flowers. Smile at. Smile at the camera. A solution to. I hope we can find a solution to that problem soon. Sorry about, for. I'm sorry about, for what I said to Susie. Spend something on. What do you spend your pocket money on each week? Succeed in. I really hope you succeed in all your exams. Suitable for. This film is not suitable for children under the age of 15. Sure about, of. I'm not sure about, of the answer. Surprised at, by. We were all surprised at, by Tom's decision to give up football. Talented at. Scylla is really talented at singing. Talk to somebody about. What were you talking to James about? Tell somebody about. I've got something to tell you about. Think about. I'm going to think about that carefully. Tired of. I'm tired of helping people, and not even getting a thank you for it. Translate, from something, into. The notice had been translated from Japanese into English. A type of. How many types of music can you think of? Wait for. Are you waiting for a bus? Work as. I've always wanted to work as a lawyer. Work for. Rupert isn't a bad boss to work for. Worry about. I'm very worried about Tracy. Write to somebody about. Write to your grandma about what you bought with your Christmas money. Wrong about. I think Serena is wrong about Ian. He seems really nice to me. Wrong with. There's something wrong with my watch. What time is it?